All right, let's get it started. First, welcome to the awards banquet. First off, thank you for everyone who showed up, and thank you to anybody that's going to be watching here. If you don't know me, I'm Coach Dakota. I've been acting as the head coach at LSU Wrestling Club since last January. By the time I became involved last season, we only had a few tournaments remaining, and unfortunately, we didn't get to hold a banquet. I'm not sure when the last time LSU Wrestling has had the opportunity to celebrate, so thank you to everyone who's played a part in this and making this a reality. And at this time, I'd like to acknowledge a few of those individuals that have made this possible. First, by introducing our board from last season. So please stand up when I mention your name. Club President, David George. Vice President, Skylar Winden. Men's team captain, James Baldwin. She's at work, but women's team captain, Julia Bustamante. And then he's at a confirmation, officer, Gabriel Schwartz. Without the commitment by these individuals, not only would we want to continue wrestling, who not only wanted to continue their wrestling career, but to volunteer their time, handling all the boring stuff that goes on behind the scenes, to make days like today possible. Thank you each of you for dedicating yourselves beyond the mat this past season. As we close the chapter of this school year, we look ahead. We acknowledge some of the additional roles and responsibilities that we require the attention of individuals for this upcoming season. With that in mind, I would now like to introduce next year's board. Again, please stand when your name's called. Continuing their roles, President David George, Vice President Skylar Winden, Team Captain James Baldwin, Women's Team Captain Julia Bustamante, Compliance Officer Gabriel Schwartz, Treasurer Eli Marine, and Social Media Coordinator Olivia Hanks. This season, Gabe will be focusing on both the team and individual eligibility standards, making sure both the men's and women's team meet the NCAA requirements so that we don't have any issues when the season gets started. Eli will be focused on the financial side of things, ranging from fundraising, team registration fees, renting the mat space for practice, and much, much more. Liv will be stepping in to assist with the social media presence. Hopefully you've all noticed, but if not, both Julia and Liv have been taking over and leveling up our social media platforms, and we'll be continuing the efforts through the summer and into next season. Thank you to all of you that are making this possible. Now a little history for the chapter of LSU Wrestling. As many of you know, both David and Scott came together in the fall of 2023 to get the club started. Ever since wrestling was cut in the 80s, there's been a number of times the club was reborn. Unfortunately, each time only lasted a few seasons. For one reason or another, couldn't get the funding, couldn't keep things going on top of being students. Proud to say this is going to be our second season that just wrapped up, and we have big plans going into the third. Last season, the club only consisted of roughly 8 men and 1 woman. This season, however, our men's team more than doubled. Currently, you have around 20 consistent members, and our women's team grew to 6. Those are huge jumps. We also had our first female commit a few weeks ago, and we're working on a number of men and women that have shown interest in joining our club next fall. Currently, the future of this program relies solely on the shoulders of our athletes. In order to lighten that load and continue to provide an opportunity to wrestle for the purple and gold, we are working on building a booster club. We hope this will help the club not only continue to exist, but to continue the momentum we've already started. With that being said, let's start highlighting some of the accomplishment we achieved this past season. The team competed in a number of tournaments and represented themselves and the club very well. By the time the postseason rolled around, our athletes were determined to put their best foot forward, and we did just that at the conference tournament. Every single athlete that competed at conference not only won a match, but qualified for the national tournament. And as if 100% was not enough, we were also able to fight and get a wild card for Muhammad, meaning we qualified more athletes than we brought to conference, which is pretty impressive. At this time, I'd like to introduce those individuals that both competed and placed at the Southwest Conference Tournament. Please stand when your name is announced. Taking third at 138, Jessica Bristol, who in her first season represented the purple and gold, was our highest finishing, and I'm pretty sure, we need to check it, but I'm pretty sure the first female conference place winner in club history. Following her at 160 was Julia Bustamante. She was knocked out of the winner's bracket. Sorry, she's not here. She was knocked out by the eventual national runner-up. So she caught a tough draw in the conference. Next was Jacelyn Gwynn. She took fifth. She's at her mom's birthday today. She was finally able to overcome her rival from Xavier and secure that fifth place finish. Julia and Jacelyn became the second and third females ever to place that conference. Both of our men made it to the conference semis, which guaranteed a top six finish and a berth to nationals. At 157, Gabe finished sixth and coming up 1 point short of taking that fifth place spot, but he did qualify for nationals. At 235, James Baldwin would reach the conference finals, where he would take his first loss of the season to nationally ranked and the eventual 235-pound national champ. Good job. Unfortunately, our current budget doesn't include a historical statistician, so I'm pretty sure the last time LSU Wrestling Club had a conference runner-up, but I would guess it's at least 2009. Upon arriving at the national tournament, I was handed a packet of certificates from the NCAA without much thought behind it. I'd like to now formally recognize our 2024-2025 NCAA Scholar All-Americans. First, Jessica Bristol. Come on up. And give her that one. Next, we also had Gabriel Schwartz. And we also had Muhammad Gaber. He's out of the country. And finally, we had James Baldwin. This year's NCAA National Tournament was the largest ever among all collegiate divisions, with around 1,000 male and 300 female athletes competing over 3 days. While not everyone got the results they wanted, they did gain valuable experience. Our ladies again made history upon just weighing in, becoming the first females in LSU wrestling history to qualify for and compete at nationals. Five out of our 6 athletes drew nationally ranked opponents in their first round matchups, with the lone exception being James, who was nationally ranked himself. Muhammad drew the eventual national champion at his weight class in the opening round, and he was able to win a match and advance to day 2 through the constellations. Both Jessica and Jacelyn also advanced in their constellation brackets before their season came to an end. Gabe drew both the 16 and 15 seeds in back-to-back matches to have a tough road before cutting his tournament short. James advanced to the quarterfinals before falling to the eventual national runner-up. His reward, facing the number 1 seed in the blood rounds. After jumping out to a 3-0 lead, there was a questionable call that tied up the match. Thankfully, James listened to his coach and continued wrestling through that position, and after a successful challenge, the call was overturned and momentum was back on his side. James went on to an 11-0 major decision, securing the first All-American finish since 2009. Not satisfied, he continued to advance through the constellation bracket, defeating both the number 7 and number 2 seeds respectively, before running out a little bit of his steam here in the third place match and securing that 4th place finish, which ties for the highest finish ever by anybody from the Louisiana Wrestling Club. Now it's time to celebrate a few individuals who stood out this season. Come on back up. First, our most outstanding wrestlers. 2025 NCAA All-American, James Baldwin. Our women's most outstanding wrestler, Jessica Bristol. Next is two people that are not here, but they needed to be mentioned. We have our most improved wrestlers of the year. For the men, it was Gabriel Schwartz, and for the women, it was Julia Bustamante. Next, we had newcomers of the year. Both of these are also not here. For the men, Muhammad Gaber, and for the women, Jacelyn Gwynn. Now I'd like to highlight a few more individuals that have gone above and beyond to help the club and help above themselves. And the Coaches Appreciation Award is going to go to, for the men, not here, Eli Marine. And for the ladies, Melissa Hutchinson. Now, unfortunately, there was some travel issues. So this person isn't here today as well. But this is a unique award, and I thought it was worth doing because we weren't able to hold a banquet last year. I'd like to recognize a special alumni going out to Jacob Saunders. Last year, he also qualified for nationals, but we weren't able to really celebrate it, so he'll have something to carry on. Another special recognition goes out to two guys who I'm sure James truly appreciates. Without them consistently showing up and pushing him around, Alan and myself simply couldn't do it. So I'd like to mention Axel Ars, not here. Get better, Axel. And Nevin Burney. Come on up. Come on up. Take this picture. And now the final award of the evening. Without this man, I simply could not do this on my own. Special thank you to his wife and kids for lending him to us this season. From running warm-ups every practice to helping shuttle athletes to tournaments, being a practice partner at tournaments, and breaking a sweat bright and early. Coach Allen has done everything I could have asked for and more. I'm truly grateful that he randomly showed up someday in the fall, and I thank you for all that you've done for me and the club. All right. I'd also like to thank Core UFC for providing us a practice space and a space to host this event. So thank you to them as well. With that, our awards banquet has concluded. And thank you everyone who's been a part of this journey. And we got more to come. Thank you.